it's Sam Frost here, back with some more digital marketing advice. Now, in today's short video, I want to talk about the importance of actually distributing content you produce for your business for a marketing purpose. So a lot of businesses in recent years have jumped on the content marketing bandwagon, so they'll go and create all sorts of blog posts and videos and so on and publish them online and basically hope that people will see that content and it will build trust and build confidence and generate leads and turn into more revenue and sales, and that's all great. But there's one part of the puzzle that's often really overlooked by many businesses, and that is the distribution component. So you can create all the content you like, but if you're not getting it in front of your audience, it's of limited value. So there tends to be this sort of belief that content marketing can largely be a passive process. So a really common example of this, and where it sort of does work, is if you take something like creating website content for your business website. So you identify a bunch of questions that potential customers are asking and you create blog posts or articles about that. And there's this attitude of, if I build it, people will come and see it, and my content will rank in Google, and then I'll generate more leads and sales. And that works to an extent, but you still need to find ways to get your content in front of people at a higher frequency and with more focused distribution. So don't overlook the opportunity to use paid digital advertising, paid offline advertising, targeted ads on different platforms outside of things like Google and LinkedIn and Facebook as well. Really, this is very niche and sort of industry dependent where you are best placed to advertise. But basically, don't overlook the opportunity to actually pay to distribute your content to your target audience. Don't just assume that because you've made content that's going to deliver much value. Obviously, there is still a value in it. So even if you're not paying anything, you're just creating articles for your website, or you're creating videos that you host on your website, and you've already got an audience that's coming and looking at what you're doing, that content should, in theory, as long as it's good, help to build trust and confidence and improve conversion rates and engage your audience more effectively. But you're missing some of the wider opportunity, perhaps more of the opportunity, the lion's share of it, that actually comes through using that content really as a spearhead to get in front of your target audience. So for example, if you have a really good video that you've produced that showcases your product and showcases an innovative solution to an industry issue, can you go on LinkedIn and pay for the distribution of that video to target customers based on their job title and company industry and company size and so on, rather than just leaving it as some passive sort of asset that sits on your LinkedIn company page and sits hidden away on a page on your website and really is only of any benefit if someone happens to stumble across it. So think about ways you can distribute your content, through Facebook advertising, LinkedIn advertising, Google ads, YouTube advertising, all sorts of different ways you can actually get that message out there. Think of other opportunities, like if there are specific publications or websites or forums or wherever that your target customer frequents. Is there a way you can distribute your content there? Could you do things like, if there are niche forums, potentially pay for advertising or build up some presence on those platforms and actually share organically that content, obviously keeping in mind you don't want to come across as a spammer unless you want to get a reputation for that. But once again, you're distributing the content. You're not just creating it and hoping that people will come and see it and kind of, sitting there with your fingers crossed thinking, oh, I've made some great content, now people are going to come along and buy from me on that basis. Yeah, if you're a huge brand, you can go and just create content, and because you've already got some of that following, that sort of inherent presence in the market, you're probably going to get better distribution and engagement with it anyway. But for many smaller businesses, I do see a big problem in this approach of just creating content and then never actually taking active steps to get it in front of the target customer and just being very passive about it. So think about that for the upcoming year and how you might actually more effectively distribute your content. Allocate some budget to take some of the better pieces you're creating and promote them and get them in front of your target audience in the platforms where your target audience spends time. What does that look like? What sort of budget do you need? How are you going to make that work? And then set up a system for actually doing that and tracking the effectiveness of it. And I think you'll find that your content marketing efforts will yield far more fruit, as opposed to just leaving them purely as a sort of passive play, which does, as I say, generate some benefit, but it's not as much as if you actually actively work on the distribution side. You really need both. A bit like if you've got a race car, for example, that you want to get around a track faster. If the content itself is the engine, then maybe the distribution is the handling characteristics of the car. And if you have a car that's got tons and tons of power but can't go around a corner to save itself, or the other way around, if you're distributing content that's total rubbish, or you don't have any distribute in any way, shape or form anyway, so you've got a car that's got great handling but no power, you're probably unlikely to set a fantastic lap time. You're probably unlikely to get the performance and the results you expect. So it's about balancing the two and finding the mixture that works just right for your business and gets you the best possible results. Hopefully you find that helpful. Please like this video if you did. Please subscribe for more digital marketing advice, and I'll see you next time.